what sort of struggles did you have as you grew to 25, those first 25 people? What did you learn?
Yeah, so I'll speak on a couple of points. So one is sort of personally as CTO and kind of my personal growth along the way, and then the other would be kind of the company wide.
Okay.
So from a personal perspective, I think anyone who does this kind of a thing where you're a CTO at a growing company, you should expect your role to change significantly as you grow. So like early on, I was basically a coder. I was like writing the main parts of the code base. And then as you get more and more people, it's obviously not that you become worse of a coder, but the way to sort of optimally exploit your knowledge of the system is more about like making everyone else 10% better than using 100% of your time to code. That's like the way you best improve the company or the tech, let's say. And so some of the sort of struggles or hardships or learnings that I had to do early on is, and I don't think it's that uncommon, is learning a different job. It's not the same job. Like your job is changing, and so you have to learn the new job on the job, and that inevitably comes with some struggles and some, you won't be the best CTO for the time at your company, essentially at any point in time, because it's constantly changing. And so you constantly are kind of playing catch up about like, what is the best way to like help the company at every time. And so you have to be in a mode where you're okay with that constantly changing. And that will inevitably lead to some frustrations. In terms of the company growth, I think that probably the highest value thing that I eventually learned was communication between teams, especially for us, for example, where because we're working on a pretty multidisciplinary kind of tech stack, we run the risk of having people in sort of silos working on different projects and very rarely understanding what other people are working on and how their project interacts with like the ultimate product and like the value that it's bringing. And so we had some troubles at various points around not communicating well enough and sort of not having the flow of information be like baked into the system, sort of baked into the process that we went with. And I think that the biggest gains in productivity with respect to sort of challenges and growing and stuff has been around making sure that there's a good line of communication between all the engineering teams, that so they understand where their part interacts with other people's part and interacts with like the whole product.